Hi and welcome to Dasmore Wargaming. You've joined me, Daz, as always, and Ash. You're living in the flat below me, so hi, Ash.
Good evening. You all right?
All good, all good. And Rich up there next to me, my neighbour next door upstairs.
I'm doing all right.
You're good with a deep voice. It's all your fault. And we are joined by a super special guest tonight, the Warhammergirl. So hi, the Warhammergirl or Rach.
Definitely Rach. Please don't refer to me as the
Hey,
Warhammer
you're the
Girl.
one that gave yourself that title.
Yeah. I still can't believe it was available, to be honest.
Oh, there you
I
go.
honestly typed it in thinking there's no way this is going to be free. And
You were
then
dead
the green
lucky.
tick came up.
Lo and behold, it's free. So yeah, no, thank you for joining us to do some interview bits or hang out on hobby. I don't know if you're doing any hobby. Are you doing any hobby this evening, or are you sort of just here to have a chat and
I would be hobbying, but I genuinely cannot multitask with it at all.
Oh, right.
I'll be
Okay.
sat painting and my other half will say some really simple thing to me, and I just either ignore him by accident or I have to physically stop painting to respond.
Yeah.
I am just here for the chat.
Oh no, it's cool. We anything Warhammer sort of chat related is all cool with us. But yes, so you kind of just touched on the fact that you were shocked that name was available. Is there any reason why you went for that name? Is it just because it is what it is? It's
I sort of typed it in thinking, well, as I said, thinking it's definitely going to be taken. I just wanted to see.
Yeah.
It just sort of made sense. And I couldn't really, because I think if you are making an Instagram as a complete newbie, very difficult to think of a relevant name because there's nothing, I obviously didn't know anything about anything to do with Warhammer.
Yeah.
So the only word I knew was Warhammer, hence
Right.
the Warhammergirl.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, I'm glad it was free. I'm surprised, but
Yeah,
sort of it works, doesn't it? So
yes.
Didn't have to do any underscores or like hashes or anything like that.
what a treat.
Amazing. Yeah. So how long have you sort of been in the hobby?
I think it was the end of July that I bought what was it? It's the Indomitus. I can't even say the word.
Yeah, the
The one-
Indomitus,
Indomitus Crusade.
Yeah.
I think the one that has the Necrons in.
Yeah.
Right
Yeah.
one?
Indomitus.
Yeah, so I bought that right at the end of July. So yeah, it's been what? Oh, God, I can't even think. 8 months, 7 months. 8
Yeah,
months?
so short amount of time really in respect to things. So yeah, I didn't realise. You see, I thought you'd been in the hobby a bit longer than that.
No, I'm still very new, and I was thinking earlier, I thought, oh my God, I hope that I don't get any sort of law-related questions because my face will, unless it's to do with Necrons or like, I don't know.
That was going to be my question. So what drew you mostly to the Necron side of it?
I actually took so long choosing an army. I don't know how many people know this, but I actually originally bought Lumineth from AOS.
Oh.
Huh?
Yeah, and that was like months before that. So I sort of just bought them because I obviously just like the look of them. But with my partner and his like group of friends, they're all into 40k. So I sort of couldn't get like the motivation to do it because obviously completely new. There was nothing really like sort of, I don't know, do you know what I mean? I just didn't have any real reason to get into that side of it or something to sort of pull me into it because I'm quite social. Like I like the social side of this hobby quite a lot.
Yeah.
But yeah, then so that was, I think that must have been like May time. So I literally bought Lumen, built 4 of them, painted like a tiny bit, and then they're still on the shelf gathering dust. We'll paint them. And
they
then,
are elves. So.
And then I was like, okay, I do actually really want to get into this. So I looked at the 40k armies and Necrons. Obviously, it's like a very loose tie, but I used to be pretty obsessed with ancient Egypt. So that was like the initial thing that drew me towards them.
Fair enough.
And that was it. That was probably the main thing, really.
Yeah.
and the Void Dragon. I remember seeing, I think it was seeing the Void Dragon model.
Yeah.
I saw it. I was like, I have to paint it.
I must
So,
say,
yeah.
I'm a big fan of the one you've done. It's amazing. If you haven't seen it, go and check it out. It's great.
Well, you got to see it in a minute.
There you go then.
Yeah. Just want to say hi to Silver Paints, who's in the chat. So yeah. So hello.
Hello.
Thanks for tuning in. Yeah. Yeah. So do you think you'll ever sort of finish those Lumineth then and get into AOS and sort of embrace that side of things of the hobby, or are you very much like really invested in 40k now? Is that the route you're taking?
I think, like, never say never, because I do think like AOS models are stunning, like really, really stunning. But I think there's so much to learn with 40k that it's probably going to take me about 30 years. So if you
Right.
30 years, I might say, yeah, I've actually started painting my Lumineth now. But essentially, I'm not going to like write it off. But
Yeah.
it's just, yeah, there's just so much to it that I don't see it anytime soon. Maybe a one-off model, but
Right.
nice.
Yeah. Oh, fair enough. Fair enough.
And how are you finding with the rules with 40k at the moment? Have you got a grasp? You've had a few games, haven't you?
Yeah, so I am slowly but surely learning. So when I think this was a couple of months ago, we got a full-size table. You can sort of see it behind, but it's like a full-size table. Made the mistake of starting off with a 2,000-point game. I'm pretty sure anyway, or 1,000-point or something like that, which of course was entirely overwhelming. And I just had a meltdown, and I was like, how can I remember all of this? So we've been doing some 500 points games.
Yeah. Nice little patrol ones, yeah.
Yeah, and I absolutely love it. Like, I genuinely love the gaming side of it. I'm hoping to do some tournaments this year. I've been to quite a few tournaments anyway, to help out Wargaming Guild. So yeah, so I do love the environment, and I think it's the actual mechanics of the game I've got a grasp of now.
Yeah.
What I struggle with is, first of all, the deployment part. I just still look at it and I think, I don't know where I'm going to put my models. Please tell me.
A lot of people don't. I don't think, do they?
That won't change.
No,
do we all know where we're putting our models, or do we just sort of like, yeah, it looks all right?
I just sort of plonk stuff down and hope it does what I'm planning it's going to do.
I say I've been playing
Makes me feel a
40k.
bit better.
I've been playing 40k for 8 years now, and deployment. Just
Okay, I feel a bit better. I think I overthink things, and I always want to be immediately good at anything I do. So when
That's fair.
I'm like, oh, I'm so rubbish, but it's it's made me feel better that you guys obviously understand the struggle.
40k's rules might have been simplified over recent editions, but there's still a lot of layers and stuff that interact, and I think in some ways AOS is simpler that way, but even then there's still a lot of stuff to remember.
Yeah, I think the deployment thing, I think a lot of hobbyists will say that it's a weird one, because it's almost like a fine art. It's to get that done properly, and it's like some even say like games are sort of you know won and lost in deployment, like sometimes. I don't know how true that is. But
I suppose at the moment with Night, because I've played quite a few Nights, it's dependent on the mission as well.
Yeah,
so
fair enough.
if you've got a sort of plan in your head, then that's sort of more or less good enough. The whole point of the game at the moment is objectives anyway.
It's always good to remember the objectives. Something I'm good at forgetting.
So, but yeah, I mean, it sounds like you're having a lot of fun with the Necrons, with 40k, playing it, and you're embracing it, like every aspect of it. I suppose take this moment as well, just to say congratulations on your follower sort of goal on Instagram.
Yeah.
Is that up to, what was it now?
It's 10,000.
10,000, was it? Oh, just over that?
It's I think just over, yeah. I don't know exactly, but
yeah, so
I genuinely
awesome.
don't get it. Like, well, obviously I know I'm like quite into the hobby and stuff like that, but I do feel completely undeserving of it. Like as I put on.
No. You do some absolutely amazing work. And you give back to the community as well. This is like the other day, I thanked you for following me. I was like, oh my god, this person's following me. Why? I'm awful. No, you do amazing stuff, and your reels and everything are great. So don't think you're undeserving it, because absolutely you are.
Yeah, 100%. So congratulations for hitting that milestone, because that's amazing. So hoping one day we can get there on the old Instagram, but we're slowly grasping it. I say.
Sure, it'll take me a lot longer than you.
Yeah, you've got one post out, and we forced you to post that.
So, but it was a good first post.
Yeah. I think I'm waiting for Silver Paints to do a tutorial on how to do Instagram. Yeah. So, yes. So yeah, shall we? You happy for us to have a look at some of your work?
If you must. No, that's fine. That's fine.
You sent them to me, so.
I'm so self-critical though. I selected the photos and I was like, oh, I don't know whether to send them. I'm scared now.
Yeah. Okay.
No, I'm sure they're amazing.
So okay, let's go.
If you're critical of them, I'll be critical of them. So there you go.
So this is your Void Dragon.
Oh no, I like this one.
So I've got one that's slightly close up and one that's a bit further away. Love this color scheme on it. Yeah, I love this like icy blue that you've got as well.
Yeah, that was very much Game of Thrones inspiration there.
Yeah, that's was this a model as well? Didn't you do something like a little friendly contest against Josh Warhipster?
Yeah. So that started because I was messaging him saying that I was struggling with motivation at the time. Mm-hmm. And I think that was because I really wanted to paint my Void Dragon, but I was so scared of doing it wrong.
Yeah.
And then I was just thinking, when you get into a spiral and you're like, oh, maybe I should just stop, which I'm stupid, but I think everyone experiences it to some extent. So I was sort of messaging him saying that. And then, I can't remember the exact conversation, but all of a sudden, out of nowhere, we're like, yes, let's have a competition to see who can. Initially, it was who can paint it the fastest.
Right.
I don't know if I agree to this because, of course, he painted his in one day.
Right. Yeah.
Sounds like Josh. Yeah.
Yeah. So then we decided to change it to just community favorite, not the best painted, because again, obviously he's a professional. I'm not ever going to beat him at the best painted model.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. So that's how it happened. It was really fun.
But never
it was really fun to do.
Never say never. Didn't you actually win this little contest?
Yeah, but then I don't really know why.
Because it's a stunning paint job.
Yeah.
I think it was I got a lot of comments on the nebula body.
Yeah, to be fair, I will say the pictures that I've got and put up don't do that part justice. So if anyone's watching this now and watching it back, do go over to Instagram and check out the WarhammerGirl's Instagram page and check these out in proper detail, because these pictures don't do them justice.
I can't even see them, so that's fine with me.
No, well, you've seen the other pictures you sent me.
Yeah, exactly. I don't need to do them again.
But you know what we're talking about, so yeah, and it's a great paint job, and I'd say that the original one, when it came out, I wasn't a big fan. I think it was mainly the paint job I didn't like on the original.
Yeah.
But I like this version of it.
Thank you.
So yes.
Well,
that's
when I first saw it, I was looked at it and thought the electricity or whatever it is coming off it just looks awkward to paint.
Don't. You know what? When I decided to do the like body, I was thinking this is going to be awful, and I was thinking I can't wait to just paint all the, you know, like the power bits like you just said, because that'll be easy. And then I did the body first, and I was like, right, that's out of the way, the stress is done. And I was definitely wrong, because honestly, it took me so long to do all the I don't even know what to refer to it as. Like the power, like it's like light. Looks like lightning, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It's some sort of tesseract lightning.
Yeah. But yeah, that just took so long, just so long.
But it's worth it in the end.
Yeah. I actually, when I almost had a heart attack the other day when I was taking a photo with it for my post I did to say thanks for like 10,000 followers. I almost dropped it.
Oh no.
And the fear, like, you know, when you feel like your heart has just stopped, and I just had visions of it just being in bits on the floor. And then it's sort of a similar thing happened about 2 hours later when I picked up my Illuminor Xerath, and the top of the blade that I'd spent hours doing just snapped off. So yeah, haven't shared that with anyone yet because I'm so annoyed. I'm hoping I can just glue it, but yeah, it's not ideal. Not ideal.
You should try painting the newer style Bloodthirsters as well. And if you put it on the fire base where it's just coming out of, there's one time I'd finished painting it, put it in the box, closed it, and I just heard a no.
Yeah, that contact point on the new Bloodthirster
the contact point, right?
So flimsy. It's just
awful. Absolutely
savage.
Awful. Yeah. And that was before going to Warhammer World as well. Like the day.
Oh god.
So I feel you.
Yeah. So on to some more stunning models. Let's go to these guys. So these, I think, are some of the models I liked the most that you've done. And forgive me if I'm wrong. Are they the Scorpec Destroyer guys?
Destroyers, yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, primarily AOS guy here, so I'm going to butcher
it's
names
the
and stuff.
three with the like blades, isn't it?
Yeah. So yeah, love this paint job on it. I love how you've kept like the actual like Necrons themselves. You've got the silver in there, which is like very traditional. But the blue is just like I prefer it over the traditional green. So
Sorry,
cool.
Excuse me.
So cool. But can I ask the basing? What is that like? Is it snow texture you've used? Is it what color paint is that on top of? Is that like a texture paint or?
I also wondered this.
Yeah.
So, it's. Do you want me to take you through the process because it's so simple?
Oh, is it
yes,
really?
please.
Please do.
So it's literally astrogranite, the texture stuff. Let that dry. Corax white all over it. Then Talisar blue contrast. Then dry brush like various shades of blue just to like sort of make it a bit more purpley and give it some different gradients. Then dry brush it Corax white to end. And then I put on it's the actual snow. I can't remember what it's called now. I put it on one of my posts.
Is that the Games Workshop one?
Yeah.
The Valhalla Blizzard.
That's it. Yeah. So I just dab that on and sort of drag it out so it doesn't look like just like clumps of it. And then I put like a clear glaze on the bits without snow so it looks icy, and that's literally it.
Wow, cool.
It's really like simple method, but I think it looks quite effective.
That's cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
I have to say that the gradients and like the edge highlights on the blades is just like out of this world.
Really?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Seriously, on point.
Really? Oh god, that's so nice. I'm really shocked.
No, honestly, it's like.
Why are you so shocked?
I'm not good at compliments. Can you not tell?
No, we can't.
Obviously. No, it is absolutely. It's some of the best edge highlighting I've seen in a little while.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're literally blowing my mind.
Wow. Yeah.
That is really good.
Yeah.
Like, well, I'm glad you said it because I've got 12 more to paint for my 2,000 point army. So I have.
Oh, you're adding 12.
Going heavy Scorpex. Yeah.
Nice one.
Trying a new technique.
How many Scorpec Lord Destroyers are you adding? Scorpec Lords.
What Scorpec Lords?
Yeah, the big lad.
Well, I've got one, but I don't think.
Can you take more than one? I don't think you can take more.
No. But I'm taking 2 Catans, so that's gonna be interesting.
Oh, okay. Okay.
You can tell.
Ash as well.
You can tell Ash is the main 40k player here because he winced when you said you're going to have 12 of those.
They hurt so bad and they're so difficult to kill.
I think Ash needs to be like in the middle translator type here. So Ash, in AOS, what's 12 of those?
What in sort of comparison?
Yeah, like grossness.
Grossness. Your Troggoths.
My Troggoths.
Yeah, I'd say because are you running them as groups of 3 or 6?
I got a unit of 6 and then some 3s.
Not you. I'm not talking to you.
Oh, okay. You said my Troggoths.
I think groups of 3s.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Troggoths.
Oh wow, that's quite nasty.
They really once they're in combat, they hurt so bad.
So
and they're surprisingly quick as well.
Yeah, no, they're savage basically. Hence why I'm going heavy on them in my army list. So
if it works, which it does, it does very much.
Well, hopefully.
And the fact that they come back as well, or they can.
I know. This is why I love Necrons, because they really play into my competitive side. Like the fact that, because I know from speaking to loads of 40k players, everyone's like, oh, the reanimation protocol is awful. Like, I hate playing against Necrons because they just get back up. And honestly, the feeling of joy it brings me when I've played, and like, I'm like, oh no, I've lost like 5 of them are down, and then all of them get back up. It's just so good. Obviously, it's quite rare for that to happen, rolling 5 5s, but
the thing with Scorpec Destroyers as well is because you roll them out a dice of how many wounds they are, and you've got to match the wound characteristic. If you've got a squad of 3 and you kill 2, what if they got 4 wounds each, something like that? You're rolling 8 dice. You need 4 5s up, which you're gonna do to get 1 back. That and that's a big deal because they hurt.
Yeah. Yes, I'm excited to play properly.
Yeah. We've got a question in the chat from Flying Mammal. It says, "What's been your favourite colour to paint so far?"
My favourite colour? Blue.
That should have been obvious, really, shouldn't it?
I thought it was a trick question.
No. I don't know if Fly Mammal came into the chat like after that conversation with the blues and stuff. So
thank you for joining us, Flying Mammal, by the way.
To be fair, it's a relevant question, and I actually just lied because my favourite colour I've painted is actually the Pterodon turquoise, which is why I added it like as almost like a token colour to a lot of my models.
Right.
Stunning. I mean, my favourite colour is teal. And where I spray my models green log brass, it comes out like as a properly like tealy colour. I absolutely love it. And that's what I'm going to use for my Drawkari as well.
Yeah. Moving on to that. Yeah, we've seen posts of this.
Your pile of paint.
Horrible.
You all got that on your birthday, didn't you? And had to take it home.
Yeah. Oh, I don't know how we did it. Yeah, Jack managed to get it all in his bag, split into 2 bags, but we didn't end up with an additional bag, and I genuinely still to this day don't understand how that worked.
It's amazing what we can do when hobby's involved, isn't it? The impossible becomes possible, just out of pure will.
Yeah. So me and Richard are like long time Dark Elder players or Drawkari players. So when I saw the post that you started those, it was like a little yes.
Yeah, they're awesome.
Another player.
I mean, we did spend quite a while trying to get people off of our bandwagon because when the new codex dropped and everyone was going, "Oh, these units are really good."
That is the thing, though, isn't it? Is the codex has been out a while now, so people aren't bandwagoning, so it's fine. Otherwise, it's get off my bandwagon.
It's always the way, though. A new codex drops, and that is going to be the flavour of the little while.
Stop buying Hellions. I want some.
And I've got another window just to put up here. So this is some more images of your stuff. So we've got a group image, which has got the Void Dragon in again.
Oh yes.
Some heavy destroyers, I think. Are they heavy?
Yeah.
Oh, that's what they called, isn't it? Heavy destroyers.
Yeah.
And then you've got the 2 characters, which there's a picture of them separately. Anyway, so what characters are they?
It should be Chronomancer and Illuminor Xeras.
Yeah, there
I
we
think.
are. Yeah, that's it.
It is indeed.
Yeah.
And, yeah.
So
Yeah.
again, if you want to see these like in like proper detail, then head over to the Instagram page and check them out and give a follow while you're there. Go and follow. Go and follow. But yeah, again, it's just great paint job on those guys. The characters, like what's that you've used there? Is that Terror on Turquoise you were saying about on the sorry, I'm gonna butcher names now. Not the name character. The
Chronomancer.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
well, on the bit that goes like that, like there, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me just look at the photo I sent because. Hang on.
Stand by.
Oh. Yeah. That's
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's the Pterodon turquoise.
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, sorry, I'm gonna butcher like names and stuff, so I'm just gonna rely on that guy and then Ash to chip in and go, yeah, that's and just say the name.
It's my army, and I still butcher the names, so I wouldn't worry about it.
Yeah.
So I only know a little bit about these only because I've just finished a crusade. Well, I say I've just finished about a month ago, a crusade where someone was using Necrons, and it was quite a slog to play them with 1 wounded Chaos Marines. But what?
Not bitter at all, are they?
No, not at all. No, they're a brilliant army. To be fair, I love their rules.
Right. Yeah. But the more I look at Necrons, the more I want to start them. So let's not do that.
You did for a little bit.
That was ages ago. That's before.
You had a singular game with me with a Deceiver and a load of Immortals.
Yeah.
How did that go?
It was all right. I now play AOS.
Went that badly.
It was a tester list, wasn't it?
Yeah. So, hey, never mind. So like, moving on to sort of like just talking about your like inspiration for things. Like, is there people like in the hobby that you like look up to that inspire you like in what you're doing?
That isn't us, obviously.
There isn't.
No,
That
it's
isn't
you.
us because it's too obvious. So you know.
Obviously.
I mean, to be fair, I think like there's just there's so many people I could list that I'm not even going to attempt it. But I think that's why Instagram's so good, is because it's so easy to look at other people's work that they put out.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, there's like in terms of my like scheme, like this specific army, like that there isn't somebody that I've taken inspiration from, so to speak. But I mean, I talk to like a lot of my friends regularly about like painting and tips and stuff, and my fiance Jack is phenomenal at painting, and it does my head in and everyone else's head in because he just doesn't use Instagram. And I'm like, for God's sake, like your stuff is so good. And it's helpful having like him sat right next to me as well, because we've got our 2 painting desks next to each other. But yeah, like everyone, you know, I think 99.9% of everyone I know is better at painting than me. So I'd say I look up to everyone.
Oh. No, that's a good answer though. Instagram's been really, really good. I mean, since I've been taking it a little bit more seriously, like it's and I've focused it more towards hobby now, so I'm seeing a lot more, and it's just been great. Like, so I know exactly what you mean. Like, I'm just constantly inspired, like daily.
Yeah. It's good.
And there's so many awesome hobbyists out there. I mean, obviously there's always 1 or 2 like that ruin it for everybody. But overall, like it's really cool, like really positive, really friendly people, and
yeah.
I've not felt this positive about the hobby in a while. Like,
no, it's really good.
So there's really awesome people about.
Well, we've done some live bits on Instagram as well, and the reaction we get is really always positive. So
yeah.
So yes. So your Drawkari then. Let's go back to the Drawkari, because that's sort of piqued my interest.
so excited. I can't cope.
So, have you got a plan for it yet? I mean, are you going more down the route of like Cabal or Covens or Cults or a mix or?
I don't know. Like, I genuinely, because I've had that mentioned to me, but I'm trying like desperately not to think too hard about it because otherwise I'll just sack off my Necrons and it will all go. So I'm trying to, like, my plan is to sort of get my 2,000 points done, or at least, you know, like on its way, and then I can start painting some Drawkari models. I might do, like, one or two in between, but I'm trying not to make too much of a plan because otherwise I will just end up doing those and focusing on those. But I never knew until it was last weekend in London for my birthday. I didn't know that there was the whole like Coven Cabal thing within Drawkari. I just assumed it was like the same sort of layout as you know, like Necrons, whatever. But yeah, so I have no idea, to be honest with you.
No. Any colour schemes in mind?
Yeah, so I'm gonna do a teal and like a orange theme, so like a sunset type.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
Yeah. So I've got all the paints ready, which again I probably shouldn't have done because that's making me keen to start. But yeah, so that's the sort of theme I'm going for. I don't think I've seen it done. It probably has been, but I haven't come across it, which is actually a bit frustrating because I was hoping that I could sort of look for some tips.
Right.
I have no idea. I just know that's the colour scheme. And yeah, so hopefully it will look good. But yeah, fingers
sure
crossed.
It'll be amazing.
Yeah.
But, sorry, Ash, I think I cut you off there.
No, I was actually going to ask, do you have a colour scheme? So,
okay, there you go.
This is my question.
Damn. Yes. So I'm just going to ask now as well. I've seen you have been to Warhammer World, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen some pictures that you've sort of been up to on your Insta. Did you game up there, and what did you think of it? Like, did you have a positive experience at Warhammer World? Yeah.
Yeah, no, I loved it. We didn't game because it was me and Jack went with his dad, so it wasn't like a group like outing to game. It's because they live in Shropshire, so it wasn't far to go. But yes, I literally love it. It was awesome. And the models in the exhibition, like, I just was looking at them and thinking that's just insane. Like some of them. I mean, to be fair, all of them are stunning.
Yeah.
And yeah, but I think a group of us are planning to go up in March to actually play games. Cool. So I'm really excited about that. I'm sure you'll see that plastered all over my Instagram page.
Yeah.
So yeah, that'll be fun. But no,
well, let us know what date in March, because I'm planning a trip up in March time as well with a few friends. So
you wait now. Ash isn't going to turn up to our tournament.
Yeah, if it's tournament weekend, then no bueno.
I need you.
What, for the sarcastic comments? Yeah.
Just
that's what I'm there for.
Oh yeah,
just to relieve some anxiety, man, because I'm going to be a mess for that.
That's why I chocolate.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So, are there any sort of particular instances that you've had, like in your journey in the hobby so far, that you've sort of thought, like, it's just a standout moment, like in the hobby, where you think that's really cool, that's like inspiring, or that's, so a lot of people have like those moments, like it's just, I've had one, and I'm just wondering if you have had that moment.
I think for me, like, as I've said to you, like, I'm not very confident, like, and I'm very self-critical. And I think what really helped me, and I appreciate we've already discussed this, but is when me and Josh did the Void Dragon thing, and I had so many lovely comments on it saying amazing, because I genuinely wasn't expecting that. And I think for me, sometimes, like, previous to that, and still sometimes now, I just think I don't feel good enough to be in this hobby. And I know everyone's good enough, and it's not a competition. But I'm sure you understand, like, you know, everyone's hard on themselves and like their own worst critic usually. So that for me, like, really made me feel like welcome as well, because I was getting, like, people were taking the time out of their day to say this is amazing, and like writing like a whole comment about why they thought it was good. So yeah, that was awesome, and I think that was a turning point for me when I was like, right, like, I absolutely love this, and I've just gone mental, and it's like taken over my whole life. But yeah, I would say that yeah.
That's amazing. Yeah, it's a good feeling when that happens. But yeah, I think I'm the same as you. Like, I don't take compliments very well, and
no, you really don't.
No, and the thing is, I'm always on. I'm always trying to perfect what I'm doing, so it's never ever going to be good enough. I think a lot of hobbyists feel the same.
You are critical of yourself. You even had an army on display at Warhammer World recently, Daz. So
it wasn't good enough.
Behave.
I mean, to be fair, me and Ash are very critical of our own work as well.
So it happens to everybody, I think.
Yeah.
But I think as long as you know that you're constantly improving and you're willing to keep going back and doing things and embracing what people say and not letting it sort of get to your head. I think that's the other way it can go, isn't it? Is it can actually go to your head a bit when you've got so much praise coming your way, like on Instagram, like that's brilliant, and you just think, well, look at me, you know, I'm top of what I'm going to get. It's like, it's great having the compliments and things like that, but you still got to be level-headed about everything. And
and it's good because, like, I haven't, you know, like, everyone I've spoken to is definitely not like that. And I think going back to being self-critical, I think people that are very creative tend to be self-critical because it's such a personal thing that, you know, that you're sharing with others. And I know, for example, like, I play piano and I get absolutely terrified. Like, I'm not a nervous person. Like, I'm quite outgoing and I don't get like nervous meeting people or speaking to people or anything. But I would just never play the piano in front of anyone because I'm so worried that it's not going to be perfect. But I think it comes down to that, like, it is a very, like, personal thing, you know, with painting, because it's very, like, I can't really explain it. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, it's I can't really explain. I can't really think of the word. But it's quite, like, makes you feel quite vulnerable, like posting something you've taken so much time doing. And I think that's why there's always a risk with Instagram. Like, I just think, you know, mostly, like, 99% of the time, the community is amazing. But, and at the end of the day, it's a public space. So if you're on the public space, you know, you're always going to get, like, comments that aren't quite right or that you don't agree with. But I think it's different if someone puts something, like, extremely critical of either your work or your personality or the way you're presenting yourself on social media. I know I've just gone off on a massive tangent.
Go for it.
No, absolutely.
But I just think, especially with something like this hobby that is so personal and, you know, you're really putting yourself out there to share your work, whatever that is, whether, you know, it's time you spent doing a reel or painting or, like, you know, the results of a game or whatever it is. I think it's actually quite dangerous to be abusive towards people that are really making themselves vulnerable in a public way. But to be fair, like, it's not common. It's not very common in this community, but it does still exist. But I think everyone I've spoken to is of the same mindset, which shows there's some, like, utter legends in the community. So yeah. And that's my TED talk.
There you go.
I think that's the thing with any type of social media. It is a public space, and you do leave yourself open for criticism like that. And there's going to be people. It's the internet. They don't show their faces. They can say whatever they want. But I think at the moment with the Instagram thing, it's like you said, it's 99% more positive. especially in our sort of like Warhammer community.
Yeah, it's a difficult one, isn't it? Because it's like, I don't think you're ever going to extinguish the negativity and that sort of thing. So you never go. So I think the best way to combat it is to drown it out with positivity.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only way, because you're never going to be able to police it and make it stop. Like,
yeah,
unfortunately. So that's
unfortunately, yeah, they're always going to be there.
Yeah,
you can't get rid of them, unfortunately, can you?
Right. So, but yes. So you've mentioned a few times, so I'm going to go back to this. But you've mentioned Josh Warhipster.
Yes.
So we know Josh very well, because he used to be the store manager in our local Games Workshop store. Yes,
he mentioned. Yeah, he called you legend. So I just remembered that he said you're a legend.
Yeah, well, that's very nice of him. I can't take that compliment. But yes, so I think you said earlier, so he obviously helped you along the way with your painting and things, where you sort of did the Void Dragon and stuff. Is that how you sort of started talking to him, or did you know him before that? And
no, I knew him before. So basically, my partner used to go to the still goes to tournaments, but as in before I got into the hobby, like went to the Wargaming Guild tournaments, and I know Josh goes occasionally. So this is how the group of friends I'm in is sort of like formed. I mean, it was already pretty much formed before, but that's how I know Josh, is because just basically through Jack. Like Jack knows a lot of people from going to the tournaments. So I already knew Josh, and then I sort of, I think he does so much painting. Yeah. I thought, who is the best person to speak to about this? Because obviously he's going to get burnt out like a lot, because he does, I don't even know how many models like a week, but it's crazy. So no, he was really helpful. He's a legend. You are, so you're both.
Wow.
You're both legends.
Apparently so.
What could it make you? Like, I feel your pain.
A legend in training, I am. Let's call it that. I can meet in the middle.
Look at her, you've made him blush now.
I am. So, someone take over the questions.
It's the when we had Josh on the channel last year, he said that one of the things he remembered about us was when we were in store, Daz would say something and then you could hear me rolling my eyes from across the store.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Yeah. I'm ignoring this comment, not because it's a bad comment, but have a guess at who this person is, Rich. Can you see the comment?
Yeah. Is it Dan?
I reckon it's Dan. It says, these guys only ever give me backhanded compliments about my miniatures. Well, that's a lie.
Well, that's a lie, firstly. If it is Dan, you paint better than all of us, so you can shut up.
I think it's Dan. I think it's Dan. But yes. Hi. Anyway. Reveal yourself. Yeah. See, I've gone off a tangent.
Oh yeah, just seen. Ooh.
Yeah. Okay, I don't know what that is. That comment there.
Yeah. We got a few of them last time.
Yeah, I don't know who that is. I don't know what it means. But hey, ignore that. But yes, sorry, I've gone off a tangent now and totally forgot my my train of thought.
We got distracted. It's fine.
It happens.
You got embarrassed about a compliment, so
I'm still embarrassed. So don't. Someone else talk.
That's entirely my fault. I do apologise.
Someone else talk.
So going back to the Drawkari then. So all the pile of shame that you received on your birthday, what has sort of taken your fancy first to sort of work on?
So I have built Drazar and Lilith. I think that's how you say it.
Yeah. Drazar and Lilith. Yep.
Yeah.
Lilith. And I've sort of like sprayed them, but once I'd done that, I thought actually maybe this might be a bad idea to start on them in case something goes terribly wrong. And they're obviously two characters. But I absolutely love the Incubi. Like I think so nice. So yeah, I still haven't decided what to actually start with. Although saying that, Josh, funny enough, he's literally coming out. He may as well be on this because we're talking about it.
We did ask.
He's due to come back on this channel again at some point. So yeah, but not today.
But he said, oh, maybe start off with like a couple of witches, just so to make sure like you get the scheme right, etc. So I was like, oh, okay, that's a good idea. So I opened the box, looked at the instructions, and I basically immediately put them back down because it's so confusing, because obviously you've just got loads of heads, bodies, and then there's like one page of like half instructions that I think if you're new like me, I genuinely could not do that on my own without help. I have no idea, because obviously there's all the little numbers on the sprue. On the instructions for those, there isn't any numbers. So Jack sort of explained to me like how to build them, but if I didn't have him to explain that, I'd have probably just like they would just be sitting on my shelf for years because no idea.
From what I remember of witches, the legs have to go in specific. I think it's just the legs have to go with specific bits, but everything else can be mixed and matched. But it has been a while.
Oh, maybe that's it. Thing is, I like that stresses me out because I like really specific instructions, like literally telling me every single step. So I'd rather have like 10 pages of each model, even if it was the same thing, than just have, oh look, you can put all of these like mismatched and then do the legs. Like,
I'll tell you what, I'll send you over a model that will really set off. Then I think Rich will agree, the Slanesh Demon Chariot.
Oh God.
No, I was going to say, when you next go to Warhammer World, purchase something from Forge World like a Tantalus.
Oh, good lord!
No,
you can't get those.
No. Don't get a Tantalus.
Have you actually bought any Forge World stuff yet? No.
No.
Yeah. That'll give you major anxiety and panic attacks.
Yeah.
What you generally get is all the bits of resin in a bag, and with
a good luck letter,
and literally a photocopy A4 bit of paper with a list of components and pictures of the components one side and a completed model the other side. And you just go at it. That is it. There's no
this makes this.
Yeah.
That is it, honestly.
That's my idea of a nightmare, honestly. I just know.
The Slaneshi chariots, I've built 3 now. On all 3 of them, one of the wheels on the back is the wrong way around. And I don't know how I've done it on all 3.
Oh no! Oh god!
At least I'm consistent.
We call them quirky.
Yeah. Once you built them there, Rach, could you send them back? Is that all right? It'll be a keeper. You can have.
But yes,
I think that's a challenge there. I think that's an Instagram challenge. I'll send you the model. You build it and go, look, I've done it, and just let me know what the stress level was.
I think, yeah.
I could do a vlog on it. Literally, record my every emotion, like around this. No, I think I'd get like put away somewhere. Honestly,
I'll send a treat over once it's done. I'll send like I don't know, what do you like a Chubba Chub lolly? I'll send.
Out of everything. Lolly.
A Chubba Chub.
Who doesn't like a Chubba Chub lolly?
Dan said
other lollies are available.
Dan said some of the newer kits come with instructions like the Dark Angels. I think that's
Dan, stop trying to put a positive spin on things.
Hang on.
He's usually so negative.
This is one of my Blood Bowl players. It has instructions.
Boom.
He just had to plug Blood Bowl there. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I wish I had the little censored mark I could put over Rich now and mute him. No.
Wow.
Yeah.
So apart from so have there been any other sort of Games Workshop or Warhammer games you sort of looked into and gone, I quite fancy that? So like Kill Team or Necromunda or anything like that?
I annoy myself with this because I still have no idea about any of those. Like I don't really know what they are. Obviously, I've heard of them, but I don't know like what it actually involves. It's just, I think it's so overwhelming. Like as a complete new person in this hobby, with so much going on, that to look at something else, I think my mind would just implode in confusion.
I did see an apt meme the other day. I don't know if anyone knows the scene from The Simpsons' Halloween Treehouse of Horror when Homer's getting fed 2 donuts at the same time. Yeah. Basically, Homer's the new player, and the donuts are new content just being fed.
Brilliant.
I'll put it up on Instagram later. There.
Yeah, you have to. You have to.
Please do.
That's funny.
So, just want to have a quick talk about like some of the stuff that you sort of use. So I always like to ask, because I'm quite picky with my brushes. What brushes do you use?
Artis Opus.
Yes, another one.
They're just so you just can't beat them. Like before I used them, I was of the very common mindset until you use them. Oh no, like surely it's not that different. And then genuinely, when I used one for the first time, I looked up at Jack and said, "Holy FUCK, these are amazing!" Like instant difference. And I think with my Necrons, like there's so many spindly bits, and they're so good for like little getting into the ribs, like where I put the blue in. Obviously it's not exactly like fine artwork, you just putting paint in, but I got some I can't remember the brand now, but I got some other brushes because I was using Citadel ones. I still do use some of the Citadel ones. But I got these brushes and I thought, oh, these are great, they're so small, I'm gonna be able to paint in these little grooves so easily. And it was awful. Like immediately when I used the brush, and it was wet enough, like it wasn't a dry brush issue. But it just splayed everywhere. Like, and I couldn't actually get the colour in because there wasn't enough like weight behind the brush head, if that makes sense.
No, I know.
But yeah, they are brilliant. But
I'm so glad to hear someone else say it as well, because like I always ask this question, and I'm also happy when someone says that they use Artis Opus as well. And
I'm annoyed that everyone says Artis Opus because it's made me. 2 days ago, I've ordered my own.
What, Artis Opus?
Yeah.
You've ordered some Artis Opus?
Yeah.
Oh, you amazing man! Yes.
You won't regret it, honestly.
No, I hate you all because it's spending money. I've already look at all these Citadel brushes I've got here.
I still haven't jumped on that particular. Bandwagon.
It's not a bandwagon. Honestly, it's like I don't get anything from it for saying it. Like, at all. I have, I buy all my own brushes and stuff like that. But honestly, I found that I've always thought like my painting was okay, and that's it. And then I took the plunge, got these, because I was using Winsor Newton Series 7s, and I was getting fed up with the inconsistency, like between one and the other. So when I replaced it, it'd be like, oh, this one's clearly, not as good. And I was like, I'm going to get a set of these. So I bought the whole, the box, and painted my first model, which was a Drawkari homunculus. Oh, and like literally, I was just like, I did not realize I was that good. Like, and you know now, like what I'm like to admit that what I'd done was good.
Yeah.
I mean, oh my god, yeah, like this is like game changing. Like,
sorry to jump in as well, but Josh is in the chat now.
Hi, Mr.
Josh.
Hi,
hello,
Mr.
mate.
War Hipster. Hi, Josh.
How come you told her that these two were legends and no mention of me, you get?
I don't think I was mentioned. Like he just does.
He didn't like me. Okay, that makes sense.
Yes.
Yeah.
But stop giving me compliments, Josh. He says that. Oh, is that actually?
You're an exceptional painter.
Apparently, I'm exceptional. It's all in the brushes, Josh.
I just paint with Citadel paints and brushes and hate and anger.
But you are joining the Artis Opus crew, which is the most important thing. So please let us know actually how you get on with that, because I always love hearing people's stories about Artis Opus because I'm so passionate about that brand. Like,
I was going to keep it as a surprise, but I might as well. I was going to put like a little like blog or something or reel with how I'm getting on with it, because I've been watching because behind the scenes when doing our YouTube content. Daz has been showing me some bits and bobs he's been working on. He's been using Artis Opus brushes, and I fell in love with it. So already I was like, oh, that's how it looks? Yeah, I'm getting some.
Honestly, they're so good. Yeah. You will just say, oh my God, you guys were so right. That will be your response. Yeah. Like nothing else. You're not going to be like, oh, they're all right. Like, you will just love them. They're so good.
They might as well be magic.
Yeah.
Josh also said, "Oh, I love you, Ash. I'm sorry, Charlie Murphy. I was having too much fun." He'll know what I mean.
So paints. I assume you use mainly Citadel paints.
Yeah. At the moment, yeah. Yeah. So I do. Again, as I put on my tutorial type thing, my post, I use a lot of contrast paints. Which Josh kindly gives me advice on how to use. But yeah, I think, what else? I've got some, I can't remember the name of the brand now. Pro Acrylics? Can't remember the name of the brand. Why is he laughing? What's going on the chat?
I'm looking at the chat at the same time. No, don't worry. Carry on. Right?
I need to look at this chat now. Oh, God.
Want to smoke with a Rick James? Sorry, I've got to get that out. Done. I'm done.
Yeah. So
everybody.
Sorry, distracted then.
Yeah, I don't know that brand, if that is it.
I'll send you a picture of them later. They're really good, apparently.
Cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I say, I think that a lot of people do just use Citadel, don't they? There's nothing wrong with them. I think they're really good paints. Good range of paints. Yeah, I say I've got a few Vallejo paints, which are ones where, like, I think there's a couple of colours in the Citadel range that I'm not a fan of, and it's usually down to like how their coverage or their consistency is just not quite right, and Vallejo do it so much better. So I've got a few select colours that I do go over there and get their stuff. So, but I think that Citadel stuff is so good, and contrast is amazing. Like, it's such a good tool. Like.
Yeah, why would you not use? It's just brilliant. It's just so like effective.
Yeah.
Especially, I think for me, especially with like my Necron warriors or anyone who's got like literally hundreds and hundreds of like infantry to paint, contrast is so good because it's so much quicker. And yeah, it is. I mean, I think it's effective, and I think like, especially if you do some like dry brushing over it as well. Obviously it depends on your scheme, but I do Black Templar on mine and then dry brush.
I say the two people that got me using contrast the most is Daz, because he sort of gave me a little bit of a lowdown on it, and watching Josh's stuff as well. So thank you guys, because
Josh got me into using it, and
it's made painting my demons so much. Like you said. Hordes of infantry,
yeah,
so perfect.
Yeah, especially for corn demons.
Corn demons and Nurgle demons. Yeah, it's been so much easier.
Yeah, it's good.
And my Carmine Dragon was done with contrast because I decided it should be yellow, and I hate painting yellow.
And yes, because of the compliment there, Josh, I'll allow you to plug your channel on the chat.
I've been trying so hard not to laugh at that comment he's left. Oh dear.
I'll plug it later as well for you.
I won't.
Not that you need me to.
I won't, however. No, I will. Of course I will. Always. Yeah. So, Rich, you've been a bit quiet. I know I said your voice was very boomy, but you've been very quiet. Have you got
me?
Yeah. Have you got anything you want to ask or chat about?
Not really. I was wondering what other armies you'd branch out to when your Necrons are finished, but you answered that already.
Yeah.
The Drawkari.
Although I'm being entirely biased, I would suggest a Witch Cult army because they're just better than the other two.
How dare you?
I need to learn more about this. So
Yeah.
if you guys could send me some information on how to approach this.
Yeah. So
I would say as well, bro, look out for our next week. Our next interview. The guy we've got coming on will probably give some good old advice as well because he's a big Dark Eldar player.
I mean,
awesome.
yeah. I mean, you can actually say Ash. It's fine.
Oh, that's fine. Scary from Scarcast will be with us. So he's doing Drawkari. I can't really say it properly, but he's Drawkari.
Well, that's different to say.
So basically, he's been painting Drawkari all through January. But he's
Josh has asked if we can help get you into AOS as well.
Oh, so Rach, we got to get you into AOS.
Just a quick shout out to Nevermore, who's always on our
legend.
chat.
Hi, Nevermore.
Hi, Nevermore.
Yeah. Rach, if you wanted AOS army and wanted to get 2 armies in one, have you ever considered demons? Because demon armies you can use in 40k and AOS, so it's 1 army, 2 game systems.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. Chaos demons. You can use in both. So like Be'lakor, you can use in AOS and you can use in 40k.
Yeah. So Khorne demons, Nurgle demons, Slaanesh demons, and Tzeentch demons can all be used across both game systems. So 1 army, 2 games.
And Be'lakor in 40k is disgusting. Disgusting.
Yeah, because Josh brought his along to the last tournament we're at, and he won best painted large model. May I add?
Nice.
So yeah, it's stunning. But yeah, I genuinely love the AOS armies. It's just it's just the ones I really like. Yeah. You can't do the crossover with. If you just said Lumineth, you could obviously that would never happen. But if that, for example, that style, then I would definitely do it. But yeah. I mean, to be fair, I would love to paint an AOS model, but in terms of gaming, it's just not going to happen for a long time because I've barely touched the surface of 40k. So
yeah.
Unless Josh, you want to pay me, maybe send me some paints or give me some private painting lessons. Then I'll get into AOS.
Oh, there we are. There we go, Josh.
The terms have been set. The terms have
been set. It does make sense. Learn 1 game system before you start the other one.
Oh, God. Yeah. No, that's definitely the best way to go.
Yeah. But yes, I say I've drifted a bit far away from 40k now that I don't know enough about this edition to make comments on it.
Yeah, you started a Dark Angel army and seemed surprised that it's the meta army.
I was so gutted because everybody was giving me a load of hassle because it was oh, you're building the meta list and everything like that. I was really? It's just an army that I've been wanting to build for quite a while and I'm finally getting around to do it. So
unfortunately, Deathwing is that army at the moment.
I'm so sorry.
When anything can only be wounded on a 4-up, that is a good one.
Yeah.
So Josh says, I barely have enough money to feed myself, but that sounds like a good deal to me. I'll tell you what, I'll chip in on that.
Oh dear.
You got to do it now.
I will. I'm happy to. No, I definitely can't. Don't, because I'm the type of person that just gets really excited about things and takes on way too much and then just has a complete meltdown because I've taken on too much.
And you've got a Slaanesh chariot to build as well. So.
Oh, God!
Have you ever thought about starting a Middle-earth army?
I would actually love to do that, but no, that's not happening. That's not happening.
I don't know why I'm getting abused here. Dan is saying that apparently I only play broken lists. Really, Dan?
I mean, you should at least try Balin, because we had a game of Battle in Balin's Tomb, which is a standalone sort of Middle Earth game, which is you can pick it up like that.
Yeah. As long as I can pick something up quickly, that's cool. I'm happy to give it a go. But
the best part is you only need 1 person to own the box. So thank you, Daz, for buying it. Get painting it.
Whoa.
Sorry.
Josh has suggested Underworld's Necromunda and Blood Bowl.
There you go, Rich. Convince her of Blood Bowl. Go. You got.
I
20
would
seconds.
love to,
Josh,
but I think
Josh might, Josh might as well just have said Games Workshop.
I was thinking, I was like, he suggested pretty much everything.
I mean, we don't have to just stick to that. What about Star Wars Legion?
Oh god. Right, I'm off, guys. Bye.
the thing with Blood Bowl is I think I got carried away slightly. I've only got 12 teams.
Flying Marvel says, do Ents. You only need a few. Yes, you do. I have an Ent army, but they die really quick.
Oh.
Well, I was against like a load of like Army of the Dead, so that's really annoying.
If you watch the movies, I'm pretty sure no one dies, and like none of the ghosts die in that.
No.
Josh throwing out X-Wing and Armada. Are we just throwing out game systems now?
I'm sorry, Charlie Murphy. I'm having too much fun.
So he says, now I'll stop. Okay, there we go. So you've got all his suggestions.
Oh god, it's too much.
I know.
No. Concentrate on your 12 score pack destroyers because I want to see that on a tabletop.
Yes. Yeah.
And
I've built another 3 and I'm halfway through painting them. So yeah, slowly but surely. I don't want to like build all of them and then have to paint all of them because like I find that I did that with my warriors and just looking at them and looking at how much I had to paint, I was like, oh, I can't do this. So I'm doing it in little units, painting them in units.
Yeah,
they're the bane of my life playing against Necrons. Warriors, they just stay down.
I'm looking forward to seeing what you do with these Drawkari stuff.
Oh, I'm really nervous because but the thing is, it's such a different like way of painting compared to Necrons, or not a way of painting, but just different style. Because the good thing about Necrons is that because they're these like, you know, bloody ancient like robot people, it's easy. Like if you make a mistake on part of it, it's fine because they're supposed to look a bit shite. Sorry, I've just sworn. I promise I won't.
No, it's fine.
Also, I just want to thank you earlier for spelling out "fuck." So
you do realise I am beeping every letter, so it just sounds like an even longer, worse swear word.
God. Oh no. Oh great.
Yeah, you've made the blooper reel.
Oh God.
This blooper reel's so long now.
Yeah.
But yeah, so like I'm nervous because it's, you know, Drawkari a lot more intricate like style of painting, whereas Necrons, you know, if like part of it, I don't know, isn't painted properly, or for example, like on the armor, I've had occasions where I've put the contrast on, but then part of it there's not quite enough contrast. But most of the time, with a bit of dry brush over it, like it just looks like it ties in with their whole theme.
Yeah.
So you don't have to think, oh my god, I've got to like completely redo it. Whereas with Drawkari and a lot of other armies, I think, you know, you do have to really, really be careful. So I'm very, very nervous, and I don't want people to be like, oh, actually, she's a really rubbish painter.
I can't see that happening.
Thanks.
Just enjoy it.
Yeah. Well, exactly.
Yeah. I mean, if you're doing like Kabalites and stuff, they can be quite good because they're sort of like very. They've got like overlapping armor panels, sharp edges, and things like that. So they're great for like light dry brushing because you can catch all those ridges and edges, and great for edge highlighting, like with the edge of your brush. So like you've done on what you've done on your Necrons, like those blades.
Yeah.
Like that similar thing, like would look amazing. Like.
No, definitely. I actually oddly really enjoy edge highlighting. And Jack said to me the other day, he was like, yes, but that's because you've done it on like 5 Scorpec blades. He was like, if you have all of your Drawkari and are having to edge highlight, like, you know, I don't know how many there are. He was like, you will just get bored of it. And I was like, well, see, I find it really therapeutic to edge highlight. As long as it goes well. Obviously, if it goes wrong, it's extremely frustrating. But
and the other thing about Cabalites is that there's less skin if you just want to paint armor.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
That's good.
Whereas witches have less armor and more skin on show.
Yeah.
I mean, that's handy considering you've been painting Metal Boys. Metal Boys.
I mean, ultimately, I think the best way to look at it is that it's like 3 separate armies in one book.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. That's So
that's I think you can still mix them up and things like that in a list, but it's always, I think it's quite cool just to focus on one that you really like and put all your effort into that and theme it. Yeah. And then once that is done and you want to get another one, then just concentrate on the other and then just build a little force of the other. And
it's a good plan.
So forth, and obviously, when the Craftworld's Codex drops, there's also Ynnari if you want to get into that.
Yeah, because I was listening to the Adeptus Ridiculous podcast the other day, and because for some reason, because I know, from listening to it, my understanding of Craftworld, isn't that what the Drawkari, like, some of them escaped on?
Yes.
So ultimately, the Eldar were responsible for the creation of the Chaos God Slaanesh.
Yeah.
And to it, then Slaanesh hungers for souls of the Eldar.
Yeah.
And that's where it all comes in.
So some of the Dark Eldar, basically, they were created because they didn't stop their sort of obsession into doing this. So they basically got pushed away from the rest of the Craftworlds. And they have to hide now, basically, in the warp. And that's a part of the reason why they torture and enslave and go on like slave raids to get victims to torture, because their suffering basically feeds Slaanesh.
It stops Slaanesh like basically inhaling them, doesn't it?
Basically,
inhaling them.
That's exactly.
I got to draw that now. I have to draw that.
Do it.
The Craftworlds have soul stones. When they die, they go into the stone. I don't know. I don't understand how that works.
Yeah, it's like none of us understand how it works, right? You just accept it.
So it's so intricate, like the storylines. It's just.
I'm a little bit behind on everything, to be honest. With spoilers, Rach. Damn.
What? Did I give a spoiler?
No, Josh said spoilers, Rach. Damn.
Oh, for God's sake.
She spoiled something. Oh my goodness, we missed that.
Was there a spoiler? I mean,
do you want to spoil the spoiler also in the chat there, Josh?
Because we don't know what was spoiled there.
We don't know.
No, unless he's like making an in-joke, but I'm not sure whether this is an in-joke or I've actually spoiled something.
If not, it can be
edited.
Can we
just block him from the chat? Bye, Josh. See ya.
I can't. He's been so nice to me. He said my painting's good and he's called me a legend. So
yeah. Just waiting to see if he says anything. But no, I have no idea what he's talking about.
No, he's kidding. He's kidding.
He's kidding.
He's kidding. Haha, so funny.
Legend. Yes. Yes, guys. So, is there any other questions? Anyone in the chat? Have you got any questions for Rach?
I've got one. So, when you said that your partner, who I've seen his Instagram page, is extremely talented, why does he not do more on Instagram?
He is more self-critical than I am, and it's funny because he's going to be able to hear me. Like he will hear this conversation from the other room. Hi, Jack. He's very self-critical, and also I think the issue with him is that he doesn't like posting like work in progress pictures because he's that self-critical.
I don't do that either a lot because when it's step by step, my stuff looks so scatty.
Yeah. No, I get that. But yeah, he is planning on posting more. I think as well, like it's his phone camera is just so bad.
Oh, right.
That most of the recent pictures, like I've taken the picture for him and sent it. So yeah, but he has said he's going to post more. Because he is like amazing, and like like everyone says how good it is, and everyone says to him, please can you just put more on Instagram. I mean, yeah, you should see some of his stuff like that's in our display cabinet. It's like insane. So it's my mission to get him more active on his Instagram page.
That's great. Yeah. I say, is there anything that I mean, apart from your Instagram, is there anything else that you would like to plug while you're on here, like, or is it just your Instagram at the moment?
Instagram, podcasts.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
I will link stuff in the description of this
links.
video, so it'll be in there. So just make sure that everybody goes and checks it out and follows and does everything like that. Share the hobby love, you know.
Yeah. No, if anyone goes to my Instagram, like with the other sort of bits that I do, it's in my bio. So Instagram is the gateway to my other things. So
spot on. Yeah, so I think that we are coming to the end of the interview and hobby hangout. So, you know, it's been amazing to have you on. Thank you for agreeing to do this with us, and
thank you for having me.
That's anytime, honestly. It's great to get insights to, like, you know, how, you know, people that we follow on Instagram, like how they've
how to function.
Yeah, you know, because you know, you see the posts and the reels and things like that. You see what people are working on, and it's like, you know, well, it's nice to know more, really, because you can't put all this information into Instagram posts and things. So
no, it's good.
It's cool. It's cool to know.
It helps a closer community as well.
Yeah.
So I think
which is always positive. Which is always positive.
Exactly.
So yes. I guess I just want to say thank you to everyone that was sort of hanging out in the chat during that, and I guess thank you to anyone that's watching this back. Say thank you to my co-hosts, Ash, to Lord of Chaos.
Thank you very much.
And Rich, Necromancer with a Hat. Post more stuff on Instagram now.
Yeah, I'll get onto it.
And once again, thank you very much, Rach. It's been awesome.
No, thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you.
No problem at all. So don't forget to like and subscribe and all that jazz. And until next time, guys, happy hobby all. Take care.
Happy hobby, everyone.
Bye-bye.